to the all-wise God, who is Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. We come today, Heavenly Father, to say thank you.
Yes.
We thank you for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us, Heavenly Father.
Yes, Lord.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for leading us down the path
Of righteousness, for your name's sake.
Keep on going, lead us down.
Oh, Heavenly Father, we give you praise and honor today because you is worthy to be praised. We lift you up, Heavenly Father.
Yes.
We magnify your name.
Yes.
We call your name today, Heavenly Father, because we know the God to call upon. And Heavenly Father, you said in your word that every knee shall bow and that every tongue must confess that you is God.
Yes.
And beside you there is none other. And that's why we call your name today, Heavenly Father.
Yes, Lord.
Bless everyone that assembled out here today.
Yes.
Bless this church, Heavenly Father. Bless all the members of this church, Heavenly Father. And bless our leader over here, Heavenly Father.
Yes, Lord.
Lead him and guide him the way you would have him to go.
Yes.
Give him a word today from on high. And we'll be so careful to give you the praise. Heavenly Father, we come today to asking you to forgive us for all of our sins.
Yes, Lord.
Because we all have sinned and we all have come short of your glory, Heavenly Father.
Yes, Lord.
Just bless in a mighty way, Heavenly Father. Oh, Heavenly Father, we need you and we can't get along without you. We need you every day of our lives.
Yes, Lord.
We need you in the morning time.
Yes.
We need you in the noonday hour.
Yes, Lord.
And we need you in the evening time.
Yes. Yes.
Just look on us today. Have mercy, Lord.
Yes.
Help us, Lord, to get through this pandemic that we are going through.
Yes. Please, sir.
You know, Heavenly Father, you have all power
Yes, Lord.
in heaven and earth in your hand.
Yes.
You can build up what no man can tear down.
Yes.
And you can tear down what no man can build up.
Yes.
Just lift us up today, Heavenly Father. Let us feel the visitation of your Holy Spirit dwelling in each and every one of us today, Heavenly Father.
Yes, Lord.
And we'll be so careful to give you the praise.
Yes.
We love you, Heavenly Father, because you first loved us, Heavenly Father.
Yes, Lord.
And Heavenly Father, we thank you for your darling Son, Jesus,
Yes.
who shed his precious blood out on Calvary cross, that we all might have the right to the tree of life, Heavenly Father.
Yes, Lord.
And Heavenly Father, when our praying days is all over, Heavenly Father, we have to go in our dining room.
Yes.
Heavenly Father, we ask you to receive our souls.
Yes,
so we
Lord.
can be with you throughout eternity. These blessings we ask in Jesus' name and for his sake. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
And just tell the devil, I know what prayer can do. 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 I found the answer in prayer. I found the answer in prayer. I'm telling everywhere. Everywhere. 'Cause I know what prayer can do. 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 I know
I know what prayer can do. Prayer will heal the sick.
Yes, Lord.
Prayer will raise the dead.
Yes.
Prayer will bring a wandering child back home. And I just want to let you know that what we're faced with today, prayer gonna take care of this too.
Yes, sir.
We bring you greetings once again on today just to say to the Lord, thank you.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
To honor the Father, we say happy Father's Day. For it's truly a blessing if you call yourself a father. You got a lot of daddies out there,
Amen.
but you don't have too many fathers
Amen.
out there. Today we want to look at a passage of scripture from Acts chapter 12, verse 12 from the New King James Version of the Bible. Acts chapter 12, verse 12 from the New King James Version of the Bible. And it reads, so when he had considered this, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark. The men together praying. Let us say amen.
Amen.
I want to use for a thought today, prayer meeting at Sister Mary's house. Prayer meeting at Sister Mary's house. A lot of times when I'm putting service together, I like to revert back to my childhood, and I can remember on every Wednesday night, it used to be prayer meeting.
Yes.
Every Wednesday night over in Louisiana, at the churches it was prayer meeting.
Yes.
In my little hometown, right in front of the house, was an old lady, an old man, his name was Ed Shelton, and her name was Miss Edna Shelton. And he was in a wheelchair, and every Wednesday night, that's when I learned how to talk to the Lord. Ada, that was an Ada Shelton.
Yes.
And I used to walk across the road. As a matter of fact, it wasn't as far as from here to that pew right there to her house. And we would have prayer meeting. But you don't hear a prayer meeting like that anymore. Very seldom do you even hear a prayer meeting in church.
Amen.
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 Now they've changed prayer meeting to Bible study.
Yes.
But I found out, and I thank God that back in those days, that's when I learned how to pray.
Yes.
Oh, I used to go to the house and you'd be sitting there and you think you wasn't going to pray. The first thing they say, come on, boy,
Amen.
it's your time now. You get down on your knees and you start talking to the Lord. And it used to really thrill me. I want to get in a hurry. Deacon Williams on Sunday morning going to Oakwood. And Mama, she used to drive. Mama, she would drive about 45 miles an hour. The daddy, he only drove 35 miles an hour. And when we go to church on Sunday morning, I would want Mama to get in a hurry.
Yes.
Because they had two deacons there, two brothers, the Montgomery boys. And them two boys know they could call on the Lord. Matter of fact, when they finished praying, only thing the pastor had to do was get up and extend the privilege of the church because they had brought the Holy Spirit in there. The one brother sitting on that end where Deacon Williams was sitting like, and the other brother sitting where Sister Harris was. And when this one over here started praying, when he finished praying, he'd be over there. And when he got over there, that would pick it up, and when he finished over there, it was all over then.
Yes.
Well, but today, we don't pray like we used to.
Amen.
I guess we've gotten too sophisticated
Amen.
to call on the Lord. But prayer,
Prayer.
oh, I stopped by today to tell you, prayer is the key.
Yes.
And faith unlocks the door.
Yes.
Yeah, and then a lot of folks ask the question, say, what is prayer? I'm glad you asked that question. Prayer
Prayer.
is nothing more than a conversation with the Lord.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you talk back to me. This is no common subject today. You talk back to me. Prayer is when you talk to the Lord. The Bible says you go into your little secret closet and you talk to the Lord. Somebody asked me, well, Pastor, no, I ain't always in the house. I can't go in my secret closet. I want to help you with something today.
Amen.
Your secret closet is when you shut everything out. You could be driving your car
Yes, yes,
and you shut everything out.
yes.
And it's just you and the Lord.
Yes.
Yeah, just you and the Lord. Sometimes there used to be a time when I would be in a hurry and I wouldn't pray before I left home. And as soon as I get in the car, first thing I do is turn the stereo on, and then it hit me. You didn't say your prayer this morning. And right then I shut the radio off and I talk to the Lord. What is prayer, Reverend Harris? Prayer is nothing but a private conversation
Yes.
between you and the Lord. That's all it is. And one thing I like about the conversation that you have with the Lord, you can talk to Him,
Yes.
and you don't have to worry about your business being put in the street. But you can tell your best friend. Your best friend got a best friend. That best friend got a best friend. And by the time before the sun go down, your business is all the way from Movana over into Tallulah, if you're not careful. But when you talk to the Lord,
Yes, yes.
you don't have to worry about Him telling your business. Prayer meeting at Sister Mary's house. Mean, evil, political leaders are very prevalent today.
Yes.
They are prevalent today. There was one back in Peter's time by the name of King Herod Agrippa I. And he was the son of Aristobulus, who was the grandson of Herod the Great. If you read the Bible, you can track with me. His sister was named Herodias, and she was the one that was responsible for the death of John the Baptist. So right now, you can see where we're getting ready to go with this thing, is that wasn't a good family.
Yes.
Cruelness was in that family. And all we have to do is just take a look at what we're faced with today. In the highest office in our government, there's what? Political corruption.
Yes.
Herodotus was the one that daughter had danced before the king. And she had done such a good job and must have on some hot pants. She done such a good job when she finished. The king told her, say, whatever you ask me for,
Yes.
I'll give it to you.
Yes.
She leaned over to her mom and she said, Mama, what should I ask the king for? She said, baby, ask him for John the Baptist's head. Are y'all with me?
Yes.
Simply because John the Baptist was the one that told her what she was doing was wrong.
Yes.
That she had married her ex-husband's brother. And it was wrong. Or she didn't like that. In today's society, anytime you tell those in high position that they're wrong, you're gonna be some repercussions behind it.
Amen.
But then, if we said, Herod was part of the Jewish community. He persecuted Christians in order to please the Jewish leaders.
Yes.
Watch the word. Who opposed him. Can you go with me today? Strange things happen to people, to those in political positions when you oppose certain people.
All right.
No later than last night, another one got fired in the high up office. Are you with me?
Yes.
The other night, one of the highest rankingest black female quit her post
Yes.
because of some things that were said about this thing called racism.
Yes.
Oh, you can talk back to me. James and John was two of Jesus' original disciples. Jesus had told them in order to be a part of his kingdom that they would have to suffer the way that he suffered. In other words, he says, you had to be a part of my kingdom. You got to drink from the same cup that I drank from.
Yes.
And we know that Jesus drank from a bitter cup.
Yes.
James and John, indeed, they did suffer. Herod executed James, and later you know what happened to John. John was banished to the Isle of Patmos. Nobody but him and a bunch of poisonous snakes. But the God that I serve, he will take care of it.
Yes. Yes.
The question was asked, why did God allow James to die and yet miraculously save Peter? Life is full of difficult questions like this. God has chosen to allow the evil in this world to be in this world for a short period of time. Look at what we're faced with. If anybody had ever thought we would be faced with what we're faced with today, we never would have thought. But in each one of our lives, all we have to do is just look back. Don't worry about looking back in nobody else's life. Just take a look back in your life. And see the wrongness that we have done. Look at the sin that right today is what? Pastor, when we gonna open back up? Some of the same folks that wouldn't even come to church.
Yes.
But now they want to know. And let me help you with something. Coming to church on Sunday morning ain't gonna save you. Oh, you can talk back to them. Coming in here on Sunday morning, it's not going to save you. But I just want you to know, the little bit of things that we took for granted, that we take for granted. Getting up in the morning, coming to Sunday school, staying over in the church. Oh, we took all of that for granted. But oh, do we miss it? I don't know about you, but I miss getting up on Sunday morning. Getting dressed and coming over and sitting over in my study for a minute. I believe it or not, I miss. And used to take it for granted. I miss Frank sitting there. When I'm preaching, I miss when I'm getting ready to go into my role, him picking me up. That was what support to me. I miss that. But all of this we took for granted. Coming to church services on Sunday morning, we took it for granted. And Lord don't say nothing about evening service, and I got something to do. But now we wish that we could come to evening service. Oh, y'all can come on and talk about this. We can trust God because He has promised to destroy all evil eventually. This is what we're faced with right now. It's only for a minute. It's only for a short time. God gonna clean us up too. In the meantime, we know that God will help us through our suffering. And through our suffering, it is to strengthen us and to glorify Him.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to say that again. But what we are dealing with now is to strengthen our suffering and to glorify God. What do you think about that? Got people talking to the Lord now, they never talked to Him before. Herod had Peter arrested during the Passover celebration. And any time, well, then we still have them today. People that hate the church. People that dislike you because you say that you're a child of God. King Herod had Peter arrested for preaching the gospel. I wish you talked back to him. And then, as we look at this thing, to have him arrested was a strategic move. Simply because during the Passover, Jews from all over the world would be in Jerusalem.
Yes.
And that was unusual. Because Herod couldn't understand how so many people could get hooked up in the movement.
All right. Come on.
And the movement was called the Way.
Yes.
Today, if we were to follow God the way that we should,
Yes.
oh, we would have some trouble in our lives.
Come on, come on.
Yes.
But we would know who we could lean and depend on.
Yes, yes.
Herod's plan was to arrest Peter. Now, if you track it with me, the day of Pentecost,
Yes, yes.
the day the church was born, was in the 2nd chapter of the book of Acts. Are you with me?
Come on.
And you remember when the Holy Ghost came in, and the people were all excited. But those who didn't know what was going on said what? That the people are drunk.
Yes.
Watch me now. And this is the same Peter said, no, they ain't drunk. It's too early in the morning.
Yes.
The liquor store is not even open.
That's right.
But this thing that they got is called the Holy Ghost.
Yes.
And the movement was picking up because people were being suppressed, people were being hurt. But when they heard the gospel, they got excited.
Yes.
And that's where it should be today with what we're faced with this coronavirus. I mean, now let me help you with something else. Please, sir, and please, ma'am, use common sense.
Amen.
This stuff is for real.
Yes, it is.
This stuff is killing folks.
Yes, it is.
By in the morning,
Amen.
over 200,000, over 120,000 people gonna die
Yes.
or would have already died.
Yes.
This stuff ain't no joke. It's not a hoax.
Yes.
They're not faking and shaking about going to no cemetery.
Right.
People are actually going to the cemetery.
Yes.
Herod's plan was to execute people, but it was so many Christian folk that was in the city that he didn't want to upset. Are you talking to me?
Come on.
But the believers were praying for Peter.
Yes.
When Herod arrested him,
Yes.
they were praying for his safety.
Yes, Lord.
The honest prayer of the church significantly can affect the outcome of certain events.
Yes.
Oh, if the church was to go into prayer, the church was to go into prayer, and it's all it's going to take to get rid of this what we're in. It's prayer.
Yes.
There's no medicine cure out there.
Yes.
Huh? But I know a doctor.
Yes, sir.
I know a doctor that has a cure for it. And his name is Jesus. If we lean and depend on him, prayer changes things.
Yes,
So pray often. And when you pray, pray with confidence.
yes.
It was told to me, if you're going to pray, don't worry.
Amen.
If you're going to worry, don't pray.
Yes.
The Bible also says pray continuously.
Yes,
We're
Lord.
going to move on this thing.
Yes.
Look, when they had arrested Peter, they were so afraid that Peter was going to get away that they locked him up in jail. Peter had 2 sets of chains, and I can imagine his arm was crossed. This arm was chained to one guard. This arm was chained to the other guard.
Yes.
Are y'all with me?
Yes.
2 guards were sitting in there guarding Peter.
Yes.
That's not the end of the story. And then outside the door
Yes.
was 2 more guards. So in other words, there was what? 4 guards guarding one man. Simply because they were afraid that some of Peter's Christian friends would come by and try to get him out. I wonder, and I hope it never happened that if I was ever getting into trouble, if it was anybody in the church where I'm pastor that I could call on for help. Don't answer it. Don't answer it. Don't answer it. Don't answer it. So God sent an angel to rescue Peter.
Yes.
Angels are God's messengers.
Yes.
They are divinely created beings with supernatural power.
Yes.
They sometimes take on the appearance of a human in order to talk to people. But I stopped by to tell you angels should not be worshipped because they are not divine. They are servants just like we are. But then this night when Peter was locked up, the Bible said an angel of the Lord came into the cell. And when the angel came into the cell, the light shone in the prison. And the angel stood next to Peter and struck Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, "Get up in a hurry." And when Peter got up, I want you to look at the Lord. The Bible says the chains fell off his hands. That's why I want to tell you, if God is for you, the world can't harm you. Are you going to talk to me? The angel of the Lord told Peter, say, "Get up in a hurry." And the chains fell off and let me know that the church was praying. Because the church was in prayer meeting in Sister Mary's house. They were talking to the Lord about Peter's safety. Can I get a witness? Then the angel said, when you get up, I want you to gird yourself. In other words, get dressed in a hurry, tie up your sandals, and put on all of your garments, and get ready and follow me. Are you going to help me? And he went out and didn't ask no question and followed the angel. Did not know what was being done because Peter thought that he was seeing a vision. The Bible said they walked out of the one cell and they walked on out through the first set of guards. And when they got past the second guard post, they came to an iron gate. And I want you to see how the Lord works. If God is for you, the world can't do you no harm. Oh, I wish y'all come on and help me here. And the Bible said that the gate swung open. On his own would mean that God was in the plan. Can I get a witness? Then they said they went out and went down a street. And when they turned and went down the street, the angel departed from Peter. And Peter was on his own. He didn't have to wonder about where he was going. Because the Bible says he got in a hurry and headed down to Mary's house. Because there was some strange things happening in Mary's house. In Sister Mary's house, the church was in prayer. Are you going to help me? The Bible said when Peter got to Mary's house, that he knocked on the gate. And there was a young girl by the name of Rhoda. She came out and she saw Peter, but she got so excited till she turned around and ran back in the house and didn't open the door for Peter. That's how excited she was. And when she got back inside of the house, they asked her, say, what was wrong? And she was excited. Peter, y'all ought to help me here. Peter is standing at the gate. He is no longer locked up in jail. Well, the question was asked, you got excited. You didn't see Peter. You seen his vision. No! Oh, shucks. No, I saw Brother Peter standing at the gate. They went back outside and Peter was standing there at the gate. I want you to know, cry out. Y'all come on, help me here. Help me say prayer. Prayer. I stopped by to tell you, prayer would change things. Somebody stood up a serious prayer, told the Lord, we want you to free Pastor Peter. He don't have nobody to lean on. But Peter, when they opened the gate and went into the house, they were excited. But Peter held up his hands, told them to be quiet, not to let the whole world know what's going on because the soldiers were still looking for him. But I want you to know strange things happen when you call on the Lord. Prayer meeting at Sister Mary's house. Mary was a good woman. Mary was the mother of John Mark. Mary had a big house, and the church had gathered at Mary's house. It is believed that they was in the room where Jesus had the Last Supper. In the upper room was where the church was praying. Prayer meeting at Sister Mary's house. Can I get a witness? All we have to do, call on, help me say call it. Call Jesus, just call on him. I'm so glad I got a telephone in my bosom. I can call him when I get ready. I can call him early in the morning. I can call him in the midday. Late at night, I can call him. Who you calling, Harris? I'm calling that man who hung on Calvary's cross. They nailed his hands and riveted his feet, pierced him in his side. I can call that man who died that Friday, went in the ground, stayed there all day, all night Friday, all day Saturday, all day Saturday, and all night Saturday night. I can call that man who got up, help me say early, help me say early, Sunday morning, with all powers in his hands. I stopped by to tell you, whosoever will, let him in, for he standeth at the door, and he knock. Whosoever will, just let him in, he'll sup with you. Prayer, help me say prayer. Prayer, change this thing. It's going to take much prayer to get the world back to normal. But if we keep praying and trusting in the Lord, everything will be all right. Prayer, change this thing. Prayer
Prayer.
of the righteous availeth much.
Yes.
So, Brother Valley, I encourage you, pray
Yes.
without ceasing.
Yes.
In other words, continual prayer.
Yes.
Continual, and God won't turn his back on you.
No, he won't.
But it's some things that have to happen
Yes.
before all this is over with. What did the Bible say? For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but power, principality and power
Yes.
in high places. You got folk in high places that don't believe in the Lord.
Yes.
But I stopped by today to tell you, until we put him back,
Yes, Lord.
until we put him back
Yes.
where he rightly belongs,
Yes.
we're going to be in bad shape. I like this song. This song say, I can depend on thee.
Yes.
I can depend
Yes.
on the Lord.
Yes, Lord.
And Sister Terry Moore sang this song, and there's a lot of meaning to it. He promised us that if we can do what? Leave
Lean on
and depend on him. God bless you. God keep you. Is our prayer.
I'm so glad today I can truly say, sometimes I lift my hand and say, Jesus, he ain't never let me alone. Sometimes I tell him, well, ain't nobody but me and Jesus. I ain't got a long to sing, but let's just go ahead and tell the Lord, I'm depending. If anybody in this place can lift your hand right down the road and tell the Lord, I'm depending, I'm depending on you. Fellas, let's go and drive this thing. Can't sing it along, but let's just tell it. I'm depending. When my money gets funny, when my chains get strange, when my friend gets few, don't know what to do. I done found somebody I can lean on. Found somebody I can lean on. Y'all may wanna know who I'm leaning on. I'm depending on Jesus, 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 Jesus. There's power in that name. Demons tremble. That's that name. I love Jesus. I need you, Jesus. I want you, Jesus. Gotta have Jesus. I love Jesus. I want you, Jesus. I need you, Jesus. Gotta have Jesus.
Amen. God bless you all and God keep you is our prayer. Let's just stay prayerful. That coronavirus heritage is in our family, so we need to pray.
Amen.
We need to keep our family lifted up in prayer. That stuff that stopped off